So, where was I abruptly cut off in part two of this now three-part series about day two and day three of my monthly book and media warehouse sale? I was talking about how I was going to restock the books, organize them, and deal with pulling them as well. So, I was talking about putting the colored dots on the stickers, uh, colored sticker dots, I don't know, on the books so that each time I put out books, it'll be a different color. And then I will know which ones I need to pull after a few sales. I think that's a good idea to keep track of books and to know how long they've been sitting out. Because if a book has been sitting out for three sales and it still hasn't sold, either it's not a book that's likely to sell at my sale, or I don't have haven't had enough people come through who are book buyers come through, which is very likely could be the case as I'm still growing the business and we're still in the middle of a pandemic, so a lot of people are not going out. Uh, so I think that's good, and as you can tell as well, I've limited in my space that I have in general and for books, so I can only put out so much. And I've got kids over here. These last two are kids. These are picture books, and then I have picture books mixed in with some chapter books, and then even over here, I've got three shelves of, 2.5 shelves of chapter books, kids chapter books. So I've got what, 5.5, 6, 7.5, and then I'm using the top rows up here, as you can see as well, using every space I have, 7.5, and then over here I've got two more bookshelves of books, and these are for adults. These are large coffee table books, oversized coffee table books here. And then I've got some hardcover and softcover science fiction, fantasy books as well. A lot of I got a big donation of older sci-fi fantasy books that are still up here. A lot of them are not selling, so they've been up there for, I think this is been the second sale for sure, possibly third sale. So I think what I'll do is I might start pulling some of them actually. Just in the same vein of what I'm talking about, just because they're just not selling. So for instance, I've got a good amount of hardcover Anne McCaffrey, as you can see. So we go from here, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 hardcovers of Anne McCaffrey. That's a good amount. And then I know down here I've got some as well. Somewhere down there. I probably have a few, but even just putting together the 13 Anne McCaffreys, I could probably put that as a lot on eBay, do a buy it now, maybe do like $19.99 plus shipping, take offers, and I'm sure it would sell. I'm sure it would eventually. And there's a few other authors I have in here, not in the hardcovers, but in the soft covers as well. You can see Isaac Asimov. I got Piers Anthony, not a ton, but I've got some here. Asimov's as well. So anyway, so the idea is that if they don't sell, I can put them up as a lot. I can also do like mixed sci-fi, fantasy, mixed author, hardcover books kind of a thing. Could try that out anyway. It's worth a shot. And again, I'm just trying to move these out. Clear out the space, make a little bit of money, and keep it going, put in some new stuff. So, and I'm always coming across sci-fi, so it's not going to be difficult to replenish that. So you can apply the same thing. I think I talked about it a little bit in the previous video, my part 2 video. Apply the same concept to records and CDs. A little bit different though. Like I said, I'm probably not going to put dots on the records, but I'll still be able to go in and pull out certain artists or groups and sell those together, or a genre together that is not moving. Like I talked about jazz. Some people do buy jazz, but I have a lot of jazz records. So just to make room for new ones. Also, a lot of soul and funk. I could probably put some of that together to make some room for new items or new records in that genre. And the same goes for CDs. So as an example, I have a lot of genres. All of these cards sticking out are the different genres, like Hawaiian, like international, jazz, hard rock, heavy metal. I even have some Halloween compilations. Country's one that hardly ever sells. Someone bought a George Strait CD, I remember, because it stood out to me because I hardly see any country sell. And as you can see here, if you look, country starts here and it goes 1, 2, 3 whole rows. And I'm not sure if this empty section is because someone bought some, which they might have, or I just didn't fill it in. But more than likely, some people did buy something. But I could probably trim this down to half of what it is just because it's not selling, and I could make more room for other stuff that does sell. As an example, another example, classical. I don't sell very much classical, but I do sell a lot of 50s, 60s, 70s, and 80s, and of course oldies, which I would say 60s or oldies. I have an oldies section over here. Where is it? Oldies. People love that. Oldies. Whoops. Oldies 1960s. And I'm always selling that stuff. This is all like compilations of oldies and 60s. And then you can apply the same thing to the other side, which is by genre or, by artist or group. So there's individual artists, and I have it alphabetized. I have little cards here that stick out, as you can see here. And the Z starts there, and then, whoops, I'll show you here. Z is there, and then we start A over here. So this is what it looks like after my sale. I mean, I have a lot of CDs, and I just, like here, the B's, the A's, they got a little bit, people bought some stuff there, here, and the, what is that? I don't even know, D's. So anyway, you can kind of look through it and see. I can just peek, because this was packed. I didn't leave any space in any of these racks. So as you can see, people bought a fair amount of CDs. But again, it's not just, these artists or these CDs or whatever are not, no one's going to buy them. It's that I don't have enough people coming through. If I had double the amount of people, triple the amount of people coming through my sale, then of course I would sell a lot more, and I wouldn't have to pull out necessarily as much that's not selling, because I'd have plenty of room to replenish. Because that's the big thing is I need to put out new titles for my repeat customers who, when they come back, they don't look through and say, oh, it's the same stuff. I don't see any new artists, any new groups, any new CDs or records that I'm interested in. So it's kind of a balancing act between making repeat customers, which are really important, happy, and then having enough available for brand new people who are new to the sale and come in, and you want them to be impressed, right? You want them to turn into, I want them to turn into repeat customers, because that's really going to be the big driving force of my sales going forward, is repeat loyal customers that come every month or at least every other month. I do have a good amount, a percentage that come, a healthy amount that come every single sale I have. And it's important that I put out new stuff for them. Because if you're brand new to the sale, of course, everything's new to you. So I've got a lot, I've done this for a year, and I've built up probably, I can't say exactly how many, but dozens of repeat customers. Some of them I will see every single month. Some they'll miss a month here and there, but they'll be pretty consistent. And it's not like I'm doing this every weekend. So it's once a month. Actually, I'm doing it every 5 weeks. So every 5 weeks I see them again, and I want to make sure that when they come out, that they walk away saying, oh, well, he put out some new stuff. I was able to buy some new books and different books and different DVDs and all that kind of thing. So anyway, so that's that topic. And I will say a few more things about the sale. So overall, this sale was good, but it wasn't as good as the last one in terms of the amount of people that bought, amount of people that came, basically, and my overall sales. I was short. I was under my last 3-day sale by a couple hundred, a little over $200. So it wasn't dramatically different, but less. And I'd like to keep growing or maintaining the same pace, but you just never know what's going to happen. And for some reason, this last Friday was really slow for my sale. So it'll be interesting to see next time on Friday, see if it picks up, if there's any changes. So the other thing is too, if you're watching this video and you are considering opening something similar to what I have, either on a same scale, smaller scale, even a bigger scale, you're looking maybe to find a warehouse space or even a retail space, I will say that it's a great idea if you buy in bulk. Either you have Gaylords or you just get a lot of quantity. You're very good at getting a lot of quantity outside of just cherry picking, that you do get donations or you're able to solicit donations and find a lot of different, so much quantity of books and other media that you have a lot of duds, right, that you can't sell individually on Amazon or eBay, and you're looking for an outlet to make money off of those and not just have to get rid of them, give them to the thrift store or recycle them. And I will say it is a great idea. This is what I wanted to do for a long time. I tried to figure out different ways of going about it. I tried swap meets and flea markets, which didn't work for me. And I didn't like the idea of having to move all that stuff each time there was a sale. I like the idea of having a location like this, having it set up, and then I just do my sale consistently. I build a following, and I don't need to move this stuff around. And I got, as you know, if you've been watching my channel I've had my channel for over 5 years now. I went from cherry picking to bulk a couple years into reselling, and I just got a hold of a lot of stuff, and I tried to figure out different ways to do it, to deal with the excess. And this turned out to be the best way for me. Maybe swap meets and flea markets will be good for you. But for me personally, I prefer this, just to have a location. And it's working out really well. And I think it's just, I'm barely scratching the surface. Just because I haven't been around that long, I haven't gotten the word out as much as I would like to. And there's a pandemic as well. So that does not help. If it was never been a pandemic and it was normal times, I think my business would have just kept going up and up because no one would be scared to go out in the world, right? Think about all of the people that go to book sales, library book sales, that are not resellers. Think about how many go when you go to a book sale, especially a sizable one. There's hundreds of people that show up, and a lot of them are older. And this pandemic is keeping a lot of those people at home. And so I think that has a lot to do with it. But regardless, eventually we will get back to normal times, and everybody will be able to go out and not have to worry about a virus. So that will happen. In the meantime, I just have to weather the storm like everybody else and keep pushing forward. But I think this is a great way to sell off your duds. And also, the thing is about having a local sale and in the same location and doing it consistently and building up a following is that you, in addition to being able, of course, to sell off a lot of the stuff that is great stuff, great CDs, great records, great books, great DVDs, video games, etc., that people buy, they just don't sell for much online, is that you can build goodwill, which leads to people giving you stuff, right? So you get a lot of donations. You can even do trade-ins, get some great stuff, and then give them credit in the, $20 of credit if they give you, a bunch of books or whatever it may be. And I don't mind doing that at all. But mostly people just offer to give me stuff. You'd be surprised. Most people do not say, hey, do you buy books off, or do you buy media? Can I get a trade-in? It's like out of 10 people that offer, that say they have something to, they want to unload some stuff. Out of 10 people, maybe one person, one or two at most, will mention trade-in or if I buy stuff. Most people just say, do you take donations? Why? Because if you've been doing this for a while, you know that people get bogged down with books, especially, and just media, and they want to get rid of it. It takes up space, and they would rather just give it away and give it to someone like me, because they know that I sell it and they know I know what to do with it, and it's just quickly gone out of their life. And they don't have to stress about it and worry about it. And they know that my job is, my expertise is to be able to take that stuff and analyze it and say, oh, I can sell it here, I can sell it online, and it'll be rehomed. It'll go into someone's reused, basically. It will not necessarily just be thrown out. Of course, it depends on what they're giving me, but by and large, I can probably figure out something to do with it. The other thing is when you're doing a local sale like this, it's not online. It's not anonymous, right? Online, you never actually talk with a person. At most, you might, more on eBay than Amazon, you might send a message, email, whatever, if they have an issue or question. But by and large, even on eBay, a high percentage of people that buy something from you, you'll never communicate with them back and forth. Here, of course, you've got to deal with people right in your face. And so what happens with that? Mostly it's good. It's positive experience. People are nice. People come in. They're thankful that you have a sale. People thank me. They literally thank me. They say, oh no, thank you. I've had multiple people, they're making stacks, or they say, can you hold this while I keep looking? And so I put things to the side. While they're making a stack larger and larger, they're literally telling me, no, thank you for having this, right? Because they love movies, they love to pick out some albums, they love to grab some books. And so they appreciate the service. Let me check to make sure. Okay. Make sure the video didn't turn off. They appreciate the service that I offer and the products. People love to sell or to buy online, but they also love the idea of just coming locally, seeing someone's face, getting to know somebody, and seeing what they have. And also I get familiar with certain people's interests, or they might say, have you seen this particular DVD? Have you seen this particular CD or book? And I can say, no, I haven't, but I'll keep an eye out for it. And so I will, I'll write it down, or I'll just keep it in my mind, back in my mind, that I should look for this particular item. And if I come across it, I'll let them know when they come to the next sale. So you can build relationships with people, and that's invaluable. You should do that even if you're just selling online. But it just makes a huge difference, because you will eventually, I'm slowly getting more and more donations and repeat donators. Like I got a box over here on the ground, that big, huge box that was donated, and they said, oh, we're going through stuff. We'll probably have another donation next weekend, or, something like that along those lines. So back of my trunk has 9 bags of books from someone who's donated to me. I think this is the 4th time they've donated. They send me a message through Facebook. They say, oh, I have a couple bags or 9 bags or whatever. And they just put them out in front of their door, and I just show up and just take them off their hands. So that's another really positive to doing this. However, not necessarily however, but be aware that this is a lot of work. So to get to the point to where I am, where I have stuff organized and I have it set up, I have all the shelves and all that, it took me about a year to get to this point. I still bought shelving. These 2 shelves over here. So this shelf over here, the TV box sets, and these 2 that have all the books over here. I just bought those for this sale. Those actually came with nice windows or doors, which I took off because I didn't need. Anyway, I got them for pretty cheap, was able to pick them up, and that was for the sale. And as I've already told you, I still intend on getting another 3 or 4 shelves over here. So I'm not 100% done, but I'm probably like, I don't know, 80, 85% done with that. And that all took me a while. So it depends on how you go about it. I did it slowly. I kind of grew into it, and then I figured out, oh, the CDs should not be on the tables. They take up too much space. So we looked into, my wife and I looked into what was out there. We found these racks, which ended up working out well. There's one that unfortunately is leaning, but we figured out a way to secure it. And even though it looks like it's going to fall over, but it has not. And that's holding over 5. It can hold as many as 6,000 plus CDs. So I'm able to put out a lot of CDs and free up all this space. So now I don't have records on the ground. I have one crate on the ground, and that's it. All the rest are on the tables, and I'm going to free up even more space for records as well. So anyway, so all that took a while. So it's a lot of physical labor. So if you're not able to, and again, if you're not able to physically deal with moving, what do you call it? Bookshelves around, moving a lot of stuff around, then this is probably not for you. But again, I didn't buy anything new. I bought all these bookcases were used, either from the thrift store or I got them locally through Facebook Marketplace, OfferUp, that type of thing. And I picked them up. I had to, so you need a truck, right? You need an SUV or a pickup truck or some sort of vehicle that you can actually pick up this stuff and bring it to your location and set it up. And I made a video too about this about this bookcase. If you look at a few videos back, about the hassle of I bought it at a thrift store, and it's great, large bookshelf. It's a nice looking one, but it didn't have the right size pegs, and so I had to get some pegs and I had to glue them in there with Gorilla Glue, and it was a whole ordeal. But that's the kind of stuff you got to deal with. And then also you need some tables, so you got to buy tables. I have some racks back here. So anyway, there's some expenses involved as well as effort and energy and time to set it all up. But once it's all set up, it's really great. This becomes, I was tempted to say runs on autopilot, but that is not the case because that's the other thing. Similar to selling online, right? You have to keep listing stuff on eBay. You have to keep sending stuff into Amazon FBA or Merchant Fulfilled, listing it. You've got to physically replace everything, right? Or, restock and then pull stuff. But once it gets to the point where I am now, it's great because things are so organized that it's a lot simpler and quicker for me to deal with restocking and pulling old stuff. So overall, it's been good. I think that's going to be the end of the video, though. I think I've talked about a lot, and this is part 3. And this video is how long now? Wow, 22 minutes. I did not think that. So I'm going to end it. Thank you guys for watching. So overall, it was a great sale. I did well, made more money than I pay on my lease. And also it will cover the cost of a storage unit I have where I still have over like 1,500, 1,600 books and several Gaylords of records. So it pays for both of those spaces, which is awesome. And I am still figuring out the whole marketing. But anyway, thanks for watching, guys. I'm going to come out with other videos, not about the sale, about other stuff. And please subscribe if you're not, and keep booking.